I'm not talking to you now. Sorry, I just tickled myself. I'm like, oh! Mr. Wave, you literally legs, arms, and a head. What the fuck? Oh my god! Firing blanks.
Mine. I spoke back.
Please you can, and boom. Oh. I pressed a random button and it was the button for this thing I'm already on. We offered Side-Eye Guy's asshole up to the incubus/succubus. Nothing happened to his bumhole.
It's a noxious odour and it smells pretty rotten, and I've got a strong suspicion it's coming from your bottom.
I get brown and pink mixed up. Fuck off. No. Marilyn Monday. I saw that video. Happy birthday, Mr. Beardo. And chat of sorting laundry, so much laundry. Christmas Day. We're ending in 10 minutes. Turkey battle cry. Beardo looks like a white camp Mr. T. A pitbull. CRL, if you clip that,
Oh, Beardo! Hello,
you...
chat. I was about to write in the chat, buongiorno.
Scared the shit out of me shouting that loud. Look at this shit. They're in line with my nipples. They're lower than my nipple. Where's my nipples gone? Gun is firing peanuts! Peanuts!
Fire him with your penis, Beardo!
Side-Eye Guy. He's that posh. He's like James Bond, but with a sock. I've been stunned. I got him through the stun. I'm getting accused of hacking for that. Good evening, Beardos, Weirdos, Boils and Ghouls. How are we all doing? More Y-Files tonight? Yes. Because they've got one on exorcisms, and I hope he does the same thing where at the end he just pulls all the stories apart. It's really entertaining. It's really fun to react to. I appreciate you guys that have followed me over on Rumble as well. So the only reason I've started uploading to Rumble is because apparently there's a lot of changes coming to YouTube that will kind of neuter what I do. I'll have to start bleeping swear words by the look of it. Last week they changed it. You can swear in the first 30 seconds and it doesn't lead to demonetizing. Now it looks like any swearing may start getting things demonetized. I don't know how true it is. I've got to look into it more. But I'm just like, I'm going to go through my back catalogue, just the debunkings, and calling people out, re-upload them to Rumble. And then maybe if there's something a bit more oomph that needs me to, you know, let rip, I'll upload it to Rumble unedited. Chunk's changed a bit. Chunk put on weight. Justin, normally we start this segment of the Tuesday with how great Justin and his podcast has been. I fucking sat there 8:05, like, checking my imaginary watch. Where is he? Where is he? Look on Facebook. Apparently his guest let him down. Tisk, not let him down. It's been made more lax. See, I don't actually have a link to my Rumble. I rushed what I did. Right, 2 seconds. Let me have a look. I've changed the name. Over there, it is Beardo Gets to the Truth or something like that. It's not staying that. It was just Beardo Gets the Truth. It was, the Beardo Gets Scared thing has bugged me from the second I did it. Oh, wait. There's the video link. Right, if I put the video link in there. Had a night off. I mean, disgraceful behaviour. There you go. There's the Rumble link. So there's nothing new on there. I'm not prioritising Rumble over YouTube or anything like that. It's a backup. And it's certainly a backup when it comes to copyright claims and copyright strikes as well. So all the videos that I have had demonetised, because there's tons of them, I'm going to re-upload to Rumble. Rumble is basically like YouTube, but with more freedom. Evening, new to the channel, Briss. Awesome. Hey, appreciate that, TR. Thank you very, very much. Being not being allowed to swear, how's the world gonna... I mean, when I've got a point to get across, you'll notice, like with the Ian Lawman video, I didn't swear in it at all. Whereas this dickhead priest that's gone at Ozzy Osbourne the day after he died, saying he's pretty much going to hell and stuff, him I have let rip at. And I'm a bit concerned that video might get me in trouble, but, you know, fuck 'em. Rumble is a video platform that actually understands what fair use is and is more UN law compliant than YouTube. Yeah, there's other words you can't say on YouTube. You know, unaliving oneself and graped and things. Things you should be allowed to say, because if you can't talk about it, it turns into this dark, dirty secret. Well, Rumble allow that. Russell Brand went to Rumble, but yeah, that's probably not a good example. Neither is Dr. Disrespect. Roger, looks like we're checking Rumble out. Yeah, it seems a lot more fair to users. It's obviously a much smaller thing, and the paranormal on there is tiny. One of the channels that was recommended to me was Paranormal Nightmare, and they've only got 302 subscribers there. Got my theory test next week. Can I get a rare for good luck? Yes, you can. Rawr. Rawr. You like songs by Ren? Ren's music isn't typically what I would like, but I watched him and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. And then the lyrics caught hold of me and I was like, shit, this guy's talented. Remember, there's a place for free speech, at least for now. Yeah, there may be some videos that are not going to be suitable for YouTube that I may upload on there. But the gaming and all the rest of it, apparently gaming is going to Rumble as well for a lot of people. I'm not doing that. It'll stay here. Rebecca Keynes, thank you for the 21 months. Let's go. Imagine that. Went to the beach today, now I look like a lobster. I went out the back in the UK, that's your garden, for about 11 minutes earlier, and I was just drenched. Don't like the user interface from Rumble. I don't like it. I don't know that. I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm like, oh, my videos have been uploaded. I've uploaded 6 because the quality is lower, so it doesn't take as long as YouTube. But I've scheduled 6 videos over the next 2 weeks, and then I'm going to start working my way through the older content. And good luck with your theory test. I love Ren, so talented despite all he's going through. Absolutely. Absolutely. And somebody like that, singing from the rooftops, if you catch my drift, about mental health and the dark places he's been, can only be a good thing. Encourage more people to speak about it. Surprise YouTube allows you to vape on camera. Everything's banned. I mean, I came from Twitch, and at one point Twitch were changing the rules. You weren't allowed to vape. And I was a vape. I had a sponsorship from a vape company for about a year on Twitch. So I had a big cloud machine and these big bottles and spinning logos on my channel. And they were like, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I was like, oh, shit. Then there was the alcohol issue, because I used to get really drunk on my Twitch streams. It's pinned to the chat. Pinned to the top of the chat if you're looking for the link. Hi, Beardo. The live's ticking down for Matty's 9th birthday shout out on it. Any chance we can do it again? It would mean the world to him and us. Daniel Green, of course you can. Matty, happy 9th birthday. I'm sorry the original one got ruined, but I was being mean to someone that deserved it. Happy birthday, little dude. Cassidy May Wilson, 4 months. Beardo, tell me why. Censorship is the way somewhat insensitive because it feels like we aren't allowed to talk with serious matters. I completely agree, Connor. The more you hide or don't allow people to talk about certain subjects, it's like going back in time to where men couldn't be depressed. It was man the fuck up and get on with it. The bad times. If I see someone vaping online, then I don't want to vape. I roll it. I mean, I wish I could stop vaping. I don't like vaping. Surprised you've not been banned for crimes against fashion. That's a bit rich coming from you, Justin, with the hideous jumper. Evening, Beardo, everyone in chat. Pass my theory test, 5 PM. Thank you all so much for the support. Love you muchly. Very hot from a moist Cornwall. Mandy Priest, congratulations. See, we got it through it. There's nothing wrong with this shirt. If you don't like the Goonies, Justin, that's your fault. I'll be seeing you on Thursday. Does this mean Mary can't love Dick anymore? Let's find out, shall we?
Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick. Mary loves Dick.
Appreciate all you guys dropping the follows over on Rumble. It's just... YouTube is clearly always going to be my priority. But if I've got to change my content at all, then I can start uploading the more harsh stuff, unfiltered. So many myths about what can be in videos on YouTube. There's a guy who had a video for 10 years of him bleach his bare asshole and he was monetized because it was educational. Sorry, there's a myth around words that can and can't be used. I don't think it's a myth. Especially the unaliving and grape. Hey, see? PMS Sheer? PM Sheer? They like my shirt. You can only come into the pub if you do the truffle shuffle. Only if I'm wearing this shirt, which I won't be because I've already soaked the back of it. I love that Andy Man's Club is now around to support men with issues in their mental health. It can only be a good thing that people can describe and share and talk and... You know, it's not something I've really ever had to deal with. By the way, enjoyed the commentary for last night's rest. Joe, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I got to go full heel and give Joe Vitale shit. Love Beardo's 5 o'clock somewhere shit. Great vibes, cheers. It is 5 o'clock, so it's 7 o'clock in the UK. It's my first run since Saturday. Laura Wilson, I hope you're well. Right, oh shite. Right, let's do the participants before I get proper behind. Right, so tonight we have Angela Litforce, Big Max Golf, Blue Sky Lissa, Bookie, Cass Scarlett, Connor, CRL, Daniel Green, Danny the Ghost Quad, Darkvale Investigations, or Darkvale Inv, David Binch, Deborah Walker, Dion in the House, Dorset Paranormal Investigators. Guys, I hope you enjoyed their part 3 of that video where they ultimately caught that guy cheating them with his pants down. They got really upset about it, and I personally think it's what they went there to do. Prove one way or the other. They proved it. Thank you, the Pink Angel. I really appreciate it. High Priority Paranormal AI Music. That's a mouthful. Elise and Eloise Fight Fahab, you beautiful bastard. Film Gaz, Gary Wayne, Gillian Daniels. Gillian, I don't... it's probably not the place to say it, but thinking of you and your family... As I said in the Discord. Shout out from Portsmouth. Appreciate it, Pompey. Hannah Roman, Holly, Huey. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. Bollocks. Jenny J, Jet Hudson, John Dog, John Tenner, John Boy Patton, Kim Angel, Laura Wilson, Mags Martin McLeod, Mandy Priest, Mariah's Occult Kitchen, Mike James, Mike's Mysteries, Mickey247, Narins Mori, G5S, Old Duffer, Paranormal Monkey Podcast, Paul Doling, Paul Harrison, Pauline B, PM Shea, Pompey, Priority Paranormal AI Music, PT Deepip, Ronnie Richard Wyatt, Roger Bowen, Sandra BPH UK, Shelley Gowland, Simon Stevens, Steph Curvo Queen, Sorry Supernatural, Susan Hornby, Tan, The Pink Angel, Things Nederland. We don't mention the Netherlands around here. Tom Scott, Trekkie Turtle, Valob, Wayne Dawson, Will Westmoreland Music, and Weird Fox. Did I miss something? My name's different now. Apparently it's only my channel. You missed out the G's? Sorry, Granny Dumpling. How dare I? I don't know what's going on.
Piss off, Ghost!
Howdy to you in Texas, tattooed yarn. Wait, are you getting as much swearing as you can before YouTube sends you? Fuck no. You just pronounced my last name Wyatt again. No. You misheard me, sir. I'm sorry. I think you missed some. I'm very sorry, Lyran the Raven. I mean, my name must have fell off before he started. It must perhaps disappeared while I was looking at it, so I don't know. Granny Dumpling, I do apologise. So YouTube can show videos on guns? I think there's some weird rules around that. Not just your channel, but I think you missed an update. Oh. Misting up. Do I have to update YouTube on my PC? I've never done that. Hot diggity dog. Please? Jesus. I'm not doing this for fun.
Hot diggity dog, hot diggity, this kind of thing that just tickles my balls. Hot diggity dog, hot diggity, this kind of thing that just tickles my balls.
Yes, fuck no is the new techno. It's techno, but you don't give a fuck. Will to rights, I do apologise. See, Fahabjin, I saw his name disappear. Skibbity toilet. What? I think you have to send a fair few messages to get a mention, as my one message is not enough to show up. Maybe it's because of the volume of people in here. Gun channels are getting taken down on YouTube also. But surely, if it's done in the right way, it's educational. Adorn me? And they said, please.
Oh, fuck off! Adorn me, Beardo! Fucking A! It's perfect!
Hello there. How you doing? You come here often?
Every day.
Oh, why is that?
I work here.
Yeah.
Rawr. Rawr. I was offered a Rumble contract about a year and a half ago. But I turned it down. They offered me a sum of money to be exclusive to them, but that sum of money nowhere near enough for me to quit YouTube altogether, so I'm just putting it all over there for free. I'm sorry for saying skippity toilet. You don't have to be sorry. Hey, this air conditioning, it's making a lot of noise because it's so hot. But that isn't nice. 31 degrees in South Wales. Did you get the blouse from Dorothy Perkins or Primark? I borrowed it from your mum. Some guys have got the same issue. So it's automatic weapon. See, I don't have a problem with guns. I quite like guns. It's just stupid people having guns. But you can't target or tar everyone with the same brush. Some people know exactly what they're doing and they're very educational about it. Andrew? Boo Productions, you haven't broke down in this heat. I mean, I don't know how hot it is in the US. Where did you get AC from? Dying in this heat? Tool Station? I think it's Tool Station or Tools Direct or something like that. It was not cheap, but it's been a lifesaver. And I think some of the PC issues I was having was the PC overheating. Is this like the new heat record in Wales? I didn't think it got... I don't think it's a record. We got to 32 last month. Was it 35 one day? Wanderer, I appreciate the United States dollar. Legend, thank you very, very much. But it's definitely on record as the hottest, driest summer in Wales. Loz McGregor, hi Beardo, discovered you yesterday and chain watched your channel till 3 AM. I salute you. Just joined Rumble, following you, Lord of the Beard. Hey, I appreciate all you guys. It may just be a load of nonsense, but I quite like the idea of having a backup to all of my content. Just in case, because... Don't tell the fakers this, but if 3 of them were just like, fuck it, let's all copyright strike him, I've lost my channel. So, you know, backups. Have you heard of Dr. Eamon Hillman? I have not. Never heard of him. Zach Baggins has other issues on X, cheating on Holly. Who's Holly? Is that his wife, is it? Guns are awesome. Look at mine. Feel you there. Jesus, that looked like I had muscle then. Tell us a tight shirt. Peter Zurich can send you a work in progress picture of the custom and make a few. Yeah, Full Metal. If you look at the channel description, there's an email address there. Use the Beardo TTV live one. Hannah Foxall, I appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Mrs. Geek, good evening. Jennifer Taylor, this is not a blouse. Right, I'm very sorry. I've reset all the filters on my microphone so I can sit further back from it and it still be loud enough. But I keep doing that and it distorts. I'm very sorry. If you can hear the air conditioner, let me know, because I don't know. Are you going to open a Kick account? I've thought about opening Kick as well to multi-stream Kick, YouTube, and Twitch for the gaming. I have thought about it. Because my issues with Kick were it's a gambling site, but I don't gamble. And you don't have to promote the gambling anymore there, so... See, I would ban the Smashing Blows comment, but I love Bottom. The TV show! Before you and Meg is like, haha, Beardo likes bums. No, he doesn't. Well, I like my wife's bum. It's very nice. I know Philip DeFranco always says to diversify, but he's been through so many different ad apocalypse on YouTube as well. I think... Can't hear the air conditioner. It's filters on your microphone. So if you use OBS... Right, I can't screen share my OBS. But basically, if you're using OBS on your mic, on your audio mixer, if you click the 3 buttons, you've got filters, properties, and advanced audio. Go into filters and then put on, in this order, noise suppression, expander, compressor, and limiter. Then turn on basically the monitoring so you can hear it. And then turn the... Just move the lines until you stop hearing background buzz. Found my Twitch account the other day. I appreciate it. Beardo, that shirt is giving me hay fever. Do not disrespect the shirt. Hi, Mama Geek. I use OBS. I've tried Streamlabs. I've tried Restream. I've tried... I think I've tried the one you use. I can't remember what it's called, though. With a little duck in the corner. Justin uses it. OBS is the best one. As long as your computer can put up with it. Beardo, your sister-in-law is watching. She don't watch me. Hope I can sort Rumble, because I'm hopeless at sorting accounts. You won't miss out on anything on Rumble. If you don't have Rumble, you're not missing out on anything. There's nothing different going there unless YouTube start cracking down on bad language and mute that shirt. You can get banned as well. The blouse makes you look slim. Why, thank you. Use OBS too, though. I'd use OBS for everything, to be fair, even your live streaming. The only thing you can't do with OBS that you can on the others is the pop-up text on screen. You probably can. I just don't know how to do it. StreamYard, that's the one. Custom Kit Bash action figure. That's awesome. Right, 2 seconds. What was I going to do then? I had something for the sister-in-law and I can't find it. Oh, there it is. Oi, sister geek.
Yeah. Oh, fucking twat.
Did I cut that off too early? Called you a twat. Quack-a-lot. That's the one. Watch Rumble. A friend mentioned it to me. It's like YouTube, but you can say whatever you want, pretty much. And some people, I've been told there are some people that are over there just to say some things like that. But there we go. Beardo, I never knew people would be so jealous over a shirt that a parrot boffed on. Fuck the police. A lot of crochet groups use StreamYard. StreamYard's okay for streaming. You can't stream in as high a quality. From what I've done without paying more for... I pay for StreamYard. Purely so if I have guests on, I can use StreamYard. It's fantastic if you want a panel of people on. So at Rumble, somebody already had my username. Bastards. Cassie may have a possum Pete for drawing your eyebrows so well. She also got a friend Huey watching you. Hello, Huey. Thank you for the $4.99, Laura Wilson. And... what did you want, Possum Pete? Ignore them, Beardo. Folk are just jealous of your wife's... Justin, for a split second, you had me then. Thought you were genuinely being nice. If you do use OBS and you like the interface is too hard, that's why I have that. I have had this for 5 years now. And basically, when you see me do, like, the rar, it's from this. Rar. Rar. Shit. Press the wrong button because it was upside down. Stream decks are very expensive, but game-changing. You waved and the camera's wandering. Oh, you're a dick, mate. This hand? Fixed it. Mrs. Geek had the issue with Rumble, so she downloaded the app and that worked. When does Alien Earth start? I have no idea. Claire PNC did a stream with Don't Scare Claire using StreamYard, worked really well. StreamYard's fantastic if you want multiple parties on. Much better. Like the stuff me and Kenny Biddle have done, me and the Ouija Brothers. That was all... In fact, I think the Ouija Brothers use StreamYard for their live streams. But obviously, I don't know if the Stream Deck works for StreamYard. I have a button deck on my list of stuff to buy. Mariah, there are cheaper options. I don't know how well they work, if they're as easy to integrate as the Stream Deck. Excuse me. I'll tell you what it is, because I've been looking at one. Right, there's something called a Fifine, Fifine streaming controller with 15 buttons, and that's pretty much £100 cheaper than what I've got here. You have a free plan? Yeah, the free plan is getting worse and worse on StreamYard. Restream is good for guests mainly, that's why I use it. Yeah, OBS still hasn't figured out a way for guests, which I don't get. But there it is. Hey, Bat Dude. I'll send the pictures tomorrow because I don't want to interrupt the stream. I appreciate that, Full Metal. Beardo, do you like Fortnite? I used to. I used to play it a lot and then it got really silly. Sister Geek says, call me what you normally call me. I can't. I can't say that word on YouTube. I think the Predator will turn up in Alien Earth. Oh, that Alien Earth. Yeah, when is that coming out? When you investigate next, Beardo. This week. I've got the wild camping video on my hard drive. I've got an investigation with my nephew on the hard drive. And I've also got an investigation this week with Justin from the Paranormal Monkey podcast. We're going back out and we are going to be working with a psychic medium. Because I laid down a challenge to them. I don't believe in psychic mediums, but I'd be interested to see that if somebody that believes they're a psychic medium goes into a haunted location, could it stir up activity? And these guys were so kind and were just like, yeah, we'll invite you along. Come with us. And absolutely, we can test your theory. They've been very, very open to me and Justin being skeptical. They were guests on Justin's channel. Justin, please, for the love of God, because I'm brain farting again, tell chat who he was. Do you have any friends? Yeah. There's 422 people in here watching me. How many know you, you knob? Get out. What's suck my ass. I haven't seen Weapons yet. I still haven't seen Fantastic Four. I wanted to do it this week. Watch quite a few streamers who are monetized and use it frequently. HauntX TV needs to convince me. That's it. HauntX TV. Now, bearing in mind, HauntX... I didn't know HauntX TV had watched me, and they were like, yeah, Beardo is quite harsh. We would love to work with him because he's not going to lie for anyone. I got respect for that. Have you heard of the Sneezing Monkey? Yeah, I sent everyone over to Sneezing Monkey one night, and he went, why are there so many people in my chat? Who is this Beardo? And I was like, do you know who I am? And I left. I didn't. I use OBS. I find it fairly... OBS is dead simple. I mean, if you just got... go live, starting screen, recording on a chat screen like this, potentially gaming and screen sharing, you only need 4 things. You don't need a Stream Deck. But because of all my buttons, and then obviously I've got a page for... Well, I've got 2 pages full of all of the little clips that we go through. Then I've got a page to cut and mark streams on Twitch. Then I've got a ban and yeah, all that shit for Twitch. Then I've got my light controls, my mic controls, screenshot, screen record. You can do so much with the Stream Deck, and I don't use it for a lot of things. Did Tony Spira sell the museum and the Warren House? He sold the Warren House, but the museum artifacts are on loan for 5 years. Beardo, did you see the movie Call Me Chris and Selena Spooky Boo made? No, and I probably never will, because I can't stand Selena Spooky Boo. Not just the content, I do not like the person. The lies she has told are just disgusting. I can't get through it. I've recently... Most of you that are on Facebook know, I've... Tomorrow night, I cover in the Sam and Colby and the 20 bullshit con artists that are all in this haunted city. It's a cul-de-sac, knobs. I've covered that, and the only people that annoyed me more than Selena Spooky Boo were Project Fear. And that's going to be one of those videos where I might get a telling off YouTube, like, you can't monetize this video. You've been swearing too much, sir. Just asking, you know, so Shudder. I don't. I got rid of Shudder about 6 months ago. There wasn't enough to keep me on there. Anyone know how to get hair bleach off fingers? Asking for a friend. Soap and water. Have you burnt your fingers? It's Selena, Chris, and Chris's editor in the movie. I'll never watch it. Were you surprised that Brock Lesnar returned? Yeah, very. And I didn't have the reaction that a lot of people did. I was just like, what the fuck are they doing? It didn't need that. Hair bleach off fingers needs elbow grease. What? As Aretha Franklin said, lies, lies, lies on top of that. Or, as Fleetwood Mac once said, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Soap didn't work, and I don't know. Spooky Boo is the sleepwalking girl, yeah. I'll give her a due. She's aware of her weight and jokes at herself. It's about the only thing I can commend her on. And older than 12 must realise how bad Project... When they are put into an investigation with 20 other people and they are vying for attention, they get worse. Since Spooky was bad at acting, it's worse than the paranormal videos. I agree. Did you watch I watched the first season, I started the second one, I got really bored really quick. And I don't know why. Maybe I was tired. Right, so 30 minutes in. Shall we do the terrifying truth, possessions, and... possessions and exorcisms are real. This is again by the Y-Files. Please, pretty please, go and check out the Y-Files. In fact, I'll grab that link and I'll pin it to the top of the chat, because when it's good people, and I react to good things... I'd like to get people to go and watch the original content because it's the right thing to do. Project Fear shout, scream. I've never seen them shout and scream like in this video. Honestly, it was like nothing else I've ever seen. To the point where I peaked my microphone screaming at him to stop screaming. He can't even hear me, but he annoyed me so much. I need this. See, terps. Ooh, I wouldn't put terps on bleach. You don't know what the chemical reaction could be. Mrs. Geek, try isopropyl alcohol. Does that shirt come with tuning? Because it's loud. It's a Goonies shirt. Just a possession, so it's Possession? The whole thing of Possession used to scare me. And it wasn't The Exorcist. I found The Exorcist hilarious when I was a kid and I watched it. Didn't find it scary. The film was called... The Possession of Hannah Grace. Was it that one? Or was it the Anneliese one? It was one based on Anneliese, but they didn't use her name. Creepy as hell. Anything for attention from those guys? Yeah, because there's 17 other people there, they were shouting even louder. You see, everyone that was there was just like, oh, I'm not in shot. And you can see the heads poking out. It was ridiculous. Hecklefish is funny. He is very funny. Thank you, Ann Wilkson, for the £2. Thank you for... Oh, thanks for the gifted membership. I don't know who gifted, but you're welcome. Don't use bleach, use acetone nail varnish remover. Emily Rose, that's the one, Elise. Thank you. It's that one. Turned off more than one of the shows because of the shout. It's not just the shouting, it's the jokes as well. Joe Twin Paranormal used to be there. They're down there now. Project Fear have overtaken them. Overtaken them. The tit is the worst of the grifters. Because born liar, you know. But I've got to shrink this down because I was reacting to a church minister. Right, guys, sorry. Just before we get into this. I need to ask you a question. I want your opinions. It's too late because it's uploaded and sat waiting. Do you think it's a bad idea when a Catholic exorcism minister has ranted about Ozzy Osbourne for me to attempt to summon Satan in my studio, offer up my soul for 1 million subscribers, and then use a Ouija board to call him a prick? Because I did that for Thursday. Yes or no's in the chat. Yes? Great idea. No, don't do that. Let me know. The video's coming out anyway, but I'm just interested. We don't care for Project Fear. They grind on my nerves. Not for me. They're definitely not for me. The barn scene, that movie creeps me the hell out. The whole thing creeps me out. But I'll do the Wii, and then we get into... Yeah. I knew you guys wouldn't let me down. Oh, Gillian, I've done it. I told Mrs. Geek what I'd done, and she went, oh, no. Why? I was like, because it's funny. He shit-talked Ozzy Osbourne. I'm not having it. Who's manicured it? I haven't manicured my beard. I have just had a shower, and I got, Beardo amazes me. Why, what have I done? Do you believe dogs and cats can get possessed? Cats are all possessed by an asshole. I'm leaving that up to yourself, Beardo. It is what it is because you plan on releasing any... I mean, I'm going to. I mean, I might annoy some religious people. There is a disclaimer to say I'm not mocking religion. I'm mocking this particular religion nutjob. Oh, it's going to stir up crap. Of course it is. I mean, he's one of these that thinks that if you don't abide by his specific version of religion, then you go into hell. That's kind of what he alluded to about Ozzy Osbourne. Right, let's get into this.
Here's how it starts. Maybe it's your mother or maybe your sister. She starts complaining of headaches and strange tingling sensations in different parts of her body. Her discomfort escalates. She complains of hallucinations.
It's the clap.
She starts hearing voices. Then the seizures begin. She has trouble walking and eating and maintaining control of her bladder.
That's my mother-in-law after she's done half a bottle of gin. It looks akin to shrubbery. Oh, it's a heckle fit. Sorry. Do apologize.
The seizures become violent. She thrashes around her bed for hours. You try to restrain her, but she suddenly has impossible strength. Her moods become erratic. She swings between fear and anger and sadness. Her speech becomes ragged and deep.
Still my mother-in-law when she's had a bottle of gin.
She has sudden outbursts where she barks out phrases in Latin and Aramaic, languages she doesn't speak. Then, for no reason at all, the symptoms suddenly stop. And she's back.
Is he missing a tooth? Who, me? Yes. Well, most of one of my front ones.
Back to her normal self. Frightened and
she sounds
exhausted,
hot.
but it's still her. Her doctor can't find anything wrong with her. Psychiatrists and neurologists can't explain what's happening. This scenario happens to hundreds of families every year all over the world, of every different culture and religion. And when this does happen to someone you love and there's no one else to call, you call an exorcist.
Or do you go to your doctors and your mental health practitioner? Because that'd be my first call. I haven't had Mama Geek tell me off. Got away with it.
Born into a devoutly Catholic family, Anneliese Michelle had a normal childhood.
What kind of name is Anneliese?
That is funny for two reasons. Reason number one. Number one is a goldfish talking about Anneliese. Number two, one of my moderators is called Anneliese. Ah. Sorry, Anneliese. All hail the mighty hecklefish. He's just heckled at one Anneliese. Oh. Please don't go and strike one, Anneliese.
Anneliese.
What'd I say?
She was kind, creative, and intelligent. She had good friends, and she got good grades. Her dream was to become a teacher. When she was 16 years old, Anneliese experienced...
Hi, Kimberly Shepherd and husband. Hello to you. We will not be calling one Anneliese that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Did somebody clip that?
A violent seizure. She was diagnosed with temporal lobe epilepsy, a neurological disorder that can cause hallucinations and affect one's personality. Over the next few years, Anneliese received various treatments, including psychotherapy and anticonvulsive medications, but her condition didn't improve. Her hallucinations got worse, and her seizures more severe. And when she was 21 years old, Anneliese's condition took a dark turn. She began to experience terrifying visions of demonic apparitions.
Did I plan that? I wish I had. I wouldn't have found it as funny if I planned it. But you know, I literally got called Anneliese on YouTube for defending you one day. You called me that. Disrespect. Oh, come on. The shit you give me. I'm allowed that one. Whew. Don't flush the fish.
She said she heard voices condemning her to hell. Her Catholic upbringing led her to believe that she was being tormented by demons. And since her medical treatments weren't working, she turned to her faith. Anneliese became obsessed with religious practices. She would pray for hours and even harm herself, trying to drive away the evil spirits that she believed possessed her.
Right, The Exorcist is not based on her. The Exorcist is based on a little boy. And then The Exorcism of Emily Rose is based on her, right? Well, Anneliese, sometimes some things that you have done never ever get forgiven. You know what I mean.
She prayed so often that she broke the bones in her knees, but she kept praying. Finally, when Anneliese was 23, her family turned to the church for help. They wanted a priest to perform an exorcism.
So, they actually went to mental health practitioners first, and then had to go to the church. I don't really know. Obviously, I've seen the movie. I don't know how close to the movie it is. But this is horrifying because she passed, right? In the movie, she definitely did. Is that what happened here?
Next 10 months, she would undergo a series of 16 exorcisms. These sessions were exhausting and could last for hours. And during the sessions, She would scream, growl, and speak in languages she had never learned.
How much was that voice like Regan's? It's not Welsh.
She would physically harm herself, breaking her own bones and tearing her own flesh. She would attack other people in the room. She also suddenly had superhuman strength. Sometimes she would throw people across the room. When 5 people could no longer restrain her, she was tied to her bed. When she broke her restraints, she was chained. Her body deteriorated rapidly. She said the demons...
Are these actual photographs of her? He uses a lot of AI and I don't... Is that her? Sounds like it's played backwards. Yeah, he doesn't... The only thing I've got... Now and again he gets some things wrong. And sometimes I can't... It's not labelled what's original or not. This is actually her. Holy shit. Look at her teeth. She's broken her teeth. Her eyes are sunk in. Ah. Jesus Christ. How have you not seen these before? Because for years, possessions scared the cack out of me. I didn't believe in it, but it scared the cack out of me. And the Exorcism of Emily Rose was probably responsible. There was another one with like a father and his 2 sons, and he tries to convince them that demons are real, and that was horrible as well. Kimberly, I did say hi to your husband John earlier on. There are worse pics.
Wouldn't allow her to eat, though she would occasionally eat spiders and bugs crawling around her room. Eventually, her body couldn't take anymore, and she passed away when she was only 23 years old.
Why are these people posing for photographs? Look at the state on her face. They look like punch marks. I mean, did she do all that to herself? Trigger warning in the chat. I'm going to pin that, CRL. I didn't realise it was going this dark. Chat, I do apologise if this is a bit much for anyone. I didn't realise how... Jesus Christ. Cheryl, is this safe to keep playing? I mean, you guys can make your own minds up if you need to leave, because this is... It could be makeup. I don't think that is. I mean, that bottom lip there is swollen and busted open. She did it to herself. Oh my god. It's contested whether she did it to herself or they did it to her. It gets worse. I don't know where... Frailty with Matthew McConaughey, that's it. I don't know whether to keep playing this. But I'm going to keep playing it, but everybody in the chat, the mods and other people that have seen these photographs are saying that it gets worse. You can get in trouble, Beardo. It's already on YouTube and they haven't got in trouble. The teeth are broken because she would bite with a wooden headboard and smash it. Oh my god. If you don't want to carry on with this, please leave. I don't want anyone getting upset. we'll keep on with it if you don't want to watch it, because this is horrific, but at the end of the day, it's the truth.
She weighed less than 70 pounds, and the official cause of death was malnutrition and dehydration. In the aftermath of her death, Anneliese's story became the subject of intense debate. The mainstream view is that Anneliese had been the victim of a gross failure of the medical...
Look at it. She was so beautiful, and then they've reduced it to, well, obviously death. But look, oh my God. People wonder why I don't trust the churches.
And religious establishments. Her family and the priests were actually convicted of negligence and abuse, though they didn't serve any time.
She died, and nobody was convicted. How? Ah, my... This is how this shit is allowed to go on to this day. Nobody was convicted.
And this case was the inspiration for the film The Exorcism of Emily Rose. And now there are lots of films about exorcism. But just a few years ago, the church avoided talking about them or denied they ever happened. But one movie would change all that. An exorcism would go...
A fine. The parents got a fine. I'm not going to say my thoughts on that, to be fair.
Mainstream.
How come they didn't use an IV for her? I wish I had an answer for you.
From the novel that had long been on the bestseller lists and directed by the man who had brought the French Connection to the screen, The Exorcist had long been awaited, widely speculated upon, and anxiously anticipated. But no one, no matter how close or deeply involved...
Arts and Craft Lady, they were convicted, but nobody did any time. Kimberly, you can be seen in chat. I have read your messages to your husband out twice now. She pulled the IV out. She shouldn't have been in a bedroom, though. God was the...
in the film could possibly have anticipated what was to happen.
When The Exorcist was released in 1973, it was a phenomenon. People lined up for hours to see it. It ended up being one of the highest grossing films of all time. Exorcism was now mainstream. And The Exorcist is still considered one of the scariest films of all time. And one of the reasons for this is its realism. The film is based on a novel by William Blatty, but his novel is actually based on real events. Blatty read about a boy who underwent several exorcisms in 1949. And for years, the boy was known as Roland Doe, or sometimes Robbie Mannheim. But we now know his real name was Ronald Hunkler. When Ronald was 13, he was devastated by the recent loss of his aunt. She taught him many things, including how to use a Ouija board. And not long after his aunt's death, Hunkler started experiencing paranormal activity, like knocking and scratching sounds from behind his bedroom walls. Water would drip from pipes into his room, though no leaks were found. But the worst event Ronald experienced was his bed suddenly moving across the room.
They've taken a lot of his case into The Exorcist, then. You've never watched The Exorcist. As a child, a teenager, I found it funny. As an adult, it's horrific. As a father, it's horrific.
Ronald's parents called on every expert they could find. Doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists. They couldn't find anything wrong. Out of options, their minister suggested that the Hunklers contact an exorcist. With permission from the Catholic Church, Father E. Albert performed his first exorcism on Ronald in February of 1949, but it would be cut short. Even though Ronald was strapped to his bed, he broke off a piece of his mattress spring and slashed the priest across his shoulder. A few days later, scratch marks appeared all over Ronald's body. One set of scratches spelled the word Louis, which Ronald's mother took as a sign to seek help in St. Louis.
Is this... I don't even know what in question it. Of course, it's mental health, but... Do the church... I gotta be careful how I word it. The church believe this, right? Exorcist 3 was the better movie, in my opinion. Do the church actually believe this? Mrs. Geek, I haven't missed. I've actually read out her message and to her husband on 2 separate occasions. I haven't missed anything. Yeah, it's mental health from the victims, because that's what they are. But do you think that these priests, these exorcists, actually believe in what they are doing and believe it to a point where they will risk somebody's life? Or is it even worse that it's free advertisement? They believe in virgin births, do they?
And several more priests and assistants tried to help Ronald. Witnesses reported seeing scratches appear on Ronald's body, and they saw his bed move on its own. More and more scratches appeared on Ronald, and despite multiple exorcisms, nothing worked. He was getting worse. He was more aggressive. And then he started urinating on his bed and around the room. Finally, Ronald Hunkler was admitted to the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis. And after a month of violent tantrums of screaming and cursing Latin phrases, a priest called on St. Michael to expel Satan from Ronald's body. 7 minutes later, Ronald came out of his trance and said he's gone.
Who Productions has interviewed priests who were exorcists. It's the same as any walk of life. There are bad people in every walk of life. Look at the things that some priests have done and think that they're absolved because, on their deathbed, they cry to God. We've been live for 1 hour. This has been on for about 20 minutes. But there are bad people everywhere, Everyone says the BBC are evil. No, there was just a few people that worked at the BBC were evil. We can't cast them all. There's bent police officers. You can't label them all. Without the police, when you're getting burgled, who do you call? You call the police. They are needed. There's just a few bad eggs there. And the same thing happens with priests. I mean, look at what some of them have done.
Ronald Hunkler went on to lead a normal life. In fact, he became a NASA engineer who worked on the Apollo and space shuttle missions. His identity was kept secret for years. A friend said he lived in a state of constant worry that his coworkers would find out that he was the boy who inspired The Exorcist. Ronald Hunkler retired from NASA in 2001 and passed away peacefully in 2020. And in the years since the movie was released, the number of possessions has increased.
Savile was definitely evil. He was beyond evil. I mean, we're not going to get too deep into it, but he went for the most vulnerable of the vulnerable.
This has the number of exorcisms. One of the most famous and scariest cases happened just a few years ago. And like so many stories like this, it all started with flies.
I, as a Catholic, don't really like the church. Well, the people involved, so I do religion how God tells me to do. I'm very opinionated when it comes to religion, but my thoughts on religion are, isn't it as simple as be a good, caring person? Don't be a dick. It's kind of, the 10 Commandments, whilst they worded a bit funny, it's basically don't steal, don't be rude, don't shag your neighbour, don't steal, don't murder. It's just be a good person. And if people want to believe in God, Odin, or whoever it is, as long as that makes you a better person, go for it. Go for it. I'm glad that you people are probably less concerned about death than I am, because my biggest fear is there's nothing after it. I wish I could believe. I just can't. It's more about money and power. Now it is. It probably always has been.
In 2011, LaToya Ammons, along with her 3 children, moved into a house on a quiet street in Gary, Indiana. In December of that year, despite the Indiana cold, her porch was infested with black flies. No matter how many they killed, they kept coming back. Late one night, LaToya and her mother Rose...
This is Zach Bagan's Demon House, this. Obviously, this one I know because I did an episode on it, which was one of my bigger episodes on the channel. And the more I looked into it, the more this was just abuse. Purely just abuse. Absolute disgrace, this thing. If you're looking at Father Amorth, he was a head exorcist. I've watched the movies about him. I haven't read the real accounts.
Rosa Campbell heard the stomping of footsteps climbing up their basement stairs. Then the creak of the door from the basement to the kitchen slowly opened. LaToya followed the sound. There was no one there. She locked the door.
Right, see, I was brought up in a religious household. My dad is religious, but not overly. My mum, at one point in her life, was a born-again Christian and was really pushy with it. And I wasn't living at home, but I was like, when my mum was like full-blown into it. And my dad described it to me as, the way he sees religion is, there's not a being in the sky. God is good. The devil is evil. So when you watch a Tom and Jerry cartoon, and you've got the angel version of yourself on one shoulder, and then the demon version of yourself on the other shoulder, that's God and the devil. It's your good and your bad conscience. And he was like, don't listen to your mother, just try not to be a dick. I mean, my grandfather, the last words my grandfather said to me before he passed were, just try not to be a dick. He didn't say dick, he said a much worse word, but they were his last words to me. Don't be a dick, or try not to be a dick.
And went back to bed. An hour later, the sounds returned. This time, LaToya saw the shadow.
Ferret, my mum is fully aware of how bad she got with the born-again thing. Fully aware. She's still religious, but she's calmed down with it. Because my grandparents, my great-grandmother was Pentecostal. My grandmother and my grandfather were both atheist. And my dad's side of the family were Catholic.
Figure of a man slowly walking around her kitchen. Again, she jumped out of bed to investigate, and again, the kitchen was empty. But there were large, wet boot prints on the kitchen floor. A few months later, things would escalate. This time, it was LaToya's mother, Rosa, who was startled awake. LaToya was screaming, "Mama, Mama." Rosa followed the yelling into her granddaughter's bedroom. There was LaToya's 12-year-old daughter, unconscious, levitating above her bed. The girl fell back to her bed, opened her eyes, and had no memory of what happened. LaToya reached out to local churches for help, but nobody took her seriously.
Jedi. That's a religion I can get behind. But even that, it's literally good and evil, isn't it? Controversial opinion here. I can't stand Catholic doctrine, but as a Mormon, others don't like ours. Love one another as Christ loves us, don't be a dick. Pentecostal church is what I was made to go to as a child. And I only went for the party rings.
But a local clairvoyant
party
told her
ring
the house
biscuits
was
and
possessed by
squash.
200 demons and told LaToya to burn sage and sulfur throughout the house.
Burnt sage and sulfur, eh? I don't know if that gets rid of demons, but it sure would get rid of people.
Yeah, sulfur smells horrible. It's like intense rotten eggs.
Ugh, tell me about it. Every time you eat cabbage, the resulting fumes make my eyes water.
Okay, that's enough.
You know, in my next contract, I'm gonna add, the human shall not consume any sauerkraut, broccoli, or cauliflower within 48 hours of doing a show.
Anyway, the Ammon's house was quiet for a few.
All of these going to involve kids. I assume so, but he's going to take time at the end of it to debunk it all, I hope.
Days, but then things escalated again. Both LaToya and Rosa said demons possessed the children, then ages 7, 9, and 12. The kids' eyes bulged, evil smiles crossed their faces, and their voices got very deep every time it happened. The 7-year-old boy would sit in a closet and talk to another boy that no one else could see. The other boy would describe what it's like to be killed. And once, the 7-year-old flew out of the bathroom like he'd been thrown. The 12-year-old told doctors that she sometimes feels like she's being choked and held down where she couldn't speak or move. She then heard a voice say that she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes. Now, for skeptics, this story might sound far-fetched.
It's beyond far-fetched because in the research I did and the things I looked at, I mean, the stories don't match up. The police officer they tout as this legitimate police officer. No. I did a deep dive into this. I think it's called Zach Bagan's Demon House, The Ultimate Fail. Because even the social worker, just, I don't know what the hell they were doing. Guys, it's been a pleasure, but I have an early shift tomorrow. I need to go to bed. I overslept almost every day the past week. Good night, Nastrin. I appreciate you stopping by. Like Ghost Watch, the vocals get deep.
But all this information is from official police reports written by 2 veteran officers who became believers. Still, no matter what you believe, the best course of action in a situation like this is to see a doctor and get actual medical care, which the family did. And somehow, in front of medically trained witnesses, things got even worse. It seemed that whatever demonic forces were in LaToya Ammons' house attached themselves to her children. While being examined at their doctor's office, LaToya's sons, aged 7 and 9, suddenly passed out and couldn't be revived. 911 was called and the boys were rushed by ambulance to Methodist Hospital. When they woke up, the 9-year-old seemed okay, but the 7-year-old thrashed and screamed. It took 5 men to hold him down. At this point, someone at the hospital thought that this behavior was the result of a troubled home, or that their mother, LaToya, had a mental illness.
See, the mother was one of those overly religious types. There's a whole thing about the kid walking up the wall, but when you read the CPS case, the kid walking up the wall was holding the arms of the social worker. It's just leverage. We used to do it as kids in school. There was a narrow corridor and you could put your legs either side and then push your way up the walls. And we just literally hover above people as they walk past and drop stuff on them.
They called child services. The case was assigned to Valerie Washington, who asked the hospital to examine the family. Hospital personnel found LaToya and her children to be healthy, with no physical marks or bruises. A hospital psychiatrist said LaToya was of sound mind. But when Washington spoke to the 7-year-old, his eyes rolled back and he growled, "It's time to die."
Munchausen by proxy. I think you've nailed that one. Hey, Mr. Biddle, how are we doing? Family suddenly refused Zach Bagans' rights to the documentary. They had a better offer. Yeah, it was all about money. But then Zach Bagans bought the house and demolished it to stop other people getting any rights to anything. The whole thing stinks of neglect, abuse, and people got rich off that.
And then he lunged at his brother. He grabbed his brother by the throat and refused to let go. It took several adults to pry him off.
I did that to my brother. Numerous times. You wrote about this. Kenny, I did an episode on it ages ago. I don't know if I asked you about it. Did I come to you about it? I might not have. I think I actually may have researched that one myself.
And what happened next really rattled the hospital workers. According to Washington's official DCS report, the 9-year-old had a weird grin on his face, and then while holding Rose's hands, walked backwards up a wall and to the ceiling.
See, this footage, I think this was used in the Demon House, or very similar footage, making it look like he walked up the wall unaided. They were holding each other's wrists, and he walked backward up the simple leverage.
He then flipped over and landed on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hands. The boy doesn't remember doing this and says he couldn't do it if he tried.
Most possessions are mental health I think all possessions are mental health cases. All of them. They were a very, very poor family. There was talk of alcohol and substance abuse and stuff. The kind of people that you would see on the Foreman Brothers. I know that'll get me some hate, but when was the last time you saw the Foreman Brothers walk into a nice house?
This was witnessed by a nurse who corroborated the event in the DCS report, and I linked all these documents below. Valerie Washington decided that until they could figure out what was really happening, DCS should take short-term custody of the children. Meanwhile, the hospital chaplain contacted Reverend Michael Maginot and asked him to interview the family and perform an exorcism if he thought demons were possessing them. When Reverend Maginot went to the house, the lights would flicker for no reason, and the blinds started moving. He also saw wet footprints, and when the Reverend showed LaToya a crucifix, she went into convulsions. He believed there were ghosts and demons in the house, which was some kind of portal to somewhere bad.
See these? I'll word it better. when a family is going through a crisis like this and the CPS fail and the police like this dude fail, and then a priest comes in and says it's demons, it's portals, are they not giving the family an out to keep this crap up? And then the priest can go to the local community in the parish and say, by the power of God, we have this child, we need to pray. And then more people pile into the church, and then the bags get passed around and the purses get passed around and more money goes in. Oh, it just all absolutely reeks of lining pockets, but kids have lost their lives for it. Just called John Constantine.
A week later,
he's about as real.
Stopped by with police officers to check the condition of the home. They found the house to be clean, quiet, plenty of food.
Oh, so aside from demons, a lovely place to raise a few kids.
Right.
Nothing's worse.
Apart from when they looked under the stairs and there were dirty underwear and things. We're going to leave that bit out, because I've seen the footage of the police walking around that house. It wasn't clean by my standards. And I'm nowhere near as clean as my wife.
Than an inconsiderate roommate.
Do you mind?
Sorry, go ahead.
Captain Charles Austin, a 36-year veteran of the Gary Police Department, didn't believe in demons when he entered the house, but he did by the time he left.
No, he did by the time the TV cameras turned up.
While at the home, one of the officer's audio recorders died, even though it had fresh batteries. Another officer recorded audio, and when he played it back later, he heard an unknown voice whisper.
I don't know what I'm on about. Fair? That's your opinion. I've got mine.
Hey.
At the end of the day, I'm not going to have a go at you. If you believe in possessions and stuff, it's dangerous. People have died from this. People are still dying from this. So let's, use a bit of common sense and logic. You're talking about things you know nothing about. Well done.
That's where. I'm surprised.
The officers took photos.
Was that a DR60?
Of the house and saw ghostly figures in the images. Captain Austin took a photo with his phone that showed the silhouette of a person who wasn't there.
Okay.
Captain Austin's police radio stopped working. His garage door stopped working. The electronics in his personal car stopped working, even though mechanically all of these things were perfectly fine. And this is all documented in an official police report. Captain Austin said he investigated.
I've seen this guy on camera being interviewed and stuff, and in my opinion, he is one of the least credible police officers I have ever seen.
Some of the most heinous crimes imaginable, but there was no way he'd spend a night alone in that house.
Julian, you have to look up Clinton Baptiste. You'd love it.
Finally, Reverend Maginot performed a series of exorcisms on LaToya and the house. After the third session, the house was clean. Child Services returned the children to the home under the stipulation that there would be no further talk of demons or possession. The strange activity stopped, and LaToya Ammons moved out of the home about a year later. And various other tenants lived there until it was finally purchased by Zach Bagans.
Zach who?
He's the host of Ghost Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little bit of snark on his face then. He's the host of Ghost Adventures. Beardo, you shooted that black dress. What?
The Ghost Bro.
That's him. He shot the documentary Demon House there, and then when he was done shooting, he demolished the house. If there was a
Sure, Fahab, I completely... Clinton Baptiste is a parody of one of these nutjob priests. It's so over the top, it's brilliant. That hay sounded like a camera. That hay could have just been a cheap digital recorder and a foot being dragged across the floor, a door creaking, a jacket moving. Same as the DR60. Julie, maybe this isn't alive for you. As you know, I'm very skeptical, for one. For two, I am actually a qualified demonologist. Many of the chat can attest to it. I actually have a qualification in demonology. It's about as useful as a £7.50 bill. And yes, I said dollar, pound and dollar bill because it's not real. But I actually sat a course run by somebody that said that I am now a qualified demonologist. And let me tell you how I got my diploma in demonology. I skipped the videos because it was boring the piss out of me, and I guessed the answers and I got it 96% correct. 96% correct from guessing it.
Portal in the house, it's now closed. And many people said that this case is evidence of the power of evil and the need for faith in a war against demonic forces. And if this is a war, on the other side of the planet is the world's greatest warrior.
Demonology Certificate 2. Made it yourself. See, I didn't make mine myself. I sat a test. But are you ordained? By who? Who? I'm not ordained. I wouldn't want to be ordained. I'm not religious. I don't believe in it. I did it to mock people that have a pop about, sorry to say, yourself. You come in here saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Please provide me with 100% proof that any of this is real, because there isn't any. Every case that I have looked at, every single one of them has been neglect. It hasn't been a lot, but they have. I mean, that was incredible. Bishop. There was the bishop that's worked with Zach Bagans, not this guy, but the guy on a live stream and cried about me and then stopped charging people a fortune for his bullshit course. The guy learned from me. He wasn't happy about it and made me out to be a villain, but it is what it is. Check you out. I got my swimming brads for diving in for the brick. Hey, I did that. She's claiming her daughter is possessed. Be nice. Right, then coming into a YouTube chat and shouting about it isn't going to help. Please, pretty please, if you listen to one thing I say, go to your local mental health practitioner and go to your doctor's surgery. Rule out everything else physical and mental first. Please, get your boiler checked. Get damp checks, get mold checks, get everything scientific, logic, anything, absolutely anything, before you go down that route, because people have passed away from exorcisms. You don't want that, we don't want that. I've got a bit arsey with you, you get an arsey with me, but please go and do this the right way and protect your child. Don't argue with me, protect your child. Glasgow Ghost Hunters, thank you for the $4.99. We sent it to Beardo so you could use it to bash his haters. And I do. Carbon monoxide detectors, absolutely. GP, mental health practitioners, damp, mold, fungus, chemical, anything. Anything. If you can rule all of that out, I suggest you speak to somebody like Kenny Biddle. He can offer you legitimate, proper, scientific help. And then if beyond all of that, I don't know where you turn, but people far smarter than me, like Kenny Biddle, and people that Kenny Biddle works for, can direct you in the right direction and protect your child. This isn't about an argument now. This is about your child's protection. And this, I'm sorry, it's your job as a parent to make sure she gets that protection. Bad Beardo, no opinion. Wee woo, wee woo. Get Ian Lawman in. Oh, fuck no.
Father Gabriele Amorth.
Julie, some of these people have gone to doctors and they have lost their children. Keep going back. If you're worried about your child, sit in the doctor's office every day. Every day. Because if it was a rash that wouldn't go away, if the temperature kept rising, you'd do the same thing.
A Catholic priest and exorcist could be described as a war hero in the battle against evil. Father Amorth fearlessly battled thousands of demonic forces that threatened to harm the souls of the faithful. And for over 30 years, he was the Vatican's chief exorcist, which is a real title of a real job in the church.
Well, that's one hell of a business card.
It sure is. Father Amorth performed thousands of exorcisms over his career and wrote several books on the subject. He believed that demonic possession was a real phenomenon and that the devil was actively working to destroy the faith of believers. In the movie The Pope's Exorcist, Russell Crowe plays Father Amorth, and
saw this. Decent movie. Is Kenny still here? He normally lurks because he's in work when I'm live. Took 10 years to get the mental health team to correctly diagnose my son, keep on them, ask the school for support too. Yeah, school, social services, anyone and everything.
the cases shown in the film.
Yeah. Fred Batt, no. Ian Lawman, no. Depending what country. I'm sorry, this is probably going to sting some people. If your exorcist is on TV, he don't give a shit. He cares about TV ratings.
Are taken directly from Father Amorth's own writing. The movie is part horror, part Da Vinci Code, and part Indiana Jones. It includes a great storyline about a Vatican cover-up.
Just one Vatican cover-up? Ooh, what about the other 10,000?
Baby steps. If you're into exorcisms or supernatural thrillers, definitely check it out. Now, Father Amorth exorcised thousands of demons from hundreds of people during his 30 years as chief exorcist. Now, that might sound like he's exorcising everyone who walks through the door, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Before someone could even be considered for an exorcism, they're required to see a physical doctor and a psychiatrist. Father
School and social services already, keep on them. Honestly, keep. This isn't about an argument with me in the community now. The community are trying to advise you. We are not mental health practitioners. We are not experts that can help you directly. But we can offer you logical, sound advice. And take that advice. Fight with everything you've got for a logical conclusion. And by all means, my email address is in the channel description. I'm sure that Kenny Biddle, if you email Kenny Biddle, he will be able to direct you to some people that will be able to help you. I'm not talking about getting rid of demons genuinely. I'm talking about getting your child help. This is sounding like a... I'm sorry, but this is sounding like a spiel to me to believe in the church, and I don't. My concern isn't about your feelings, it's about your child. That's going to sound really harsh, but that's the person that's at risk here. And your belief system has to, absolutely has to, come secondary to somebody that says they've done thousands of exorcisms. It's not possible. Same as Ed and Lorraine Warren couldn't possibly do 10,000 cases in their lifetime. I genuinely hope the best, but arguing with me, you need to argue with your school, the teachers, the doctors, mental health work. You need to argue with those people with the passion you were arguing with me with. We fought for everything that she's been told. Yeah, but she's been told she's possessed by people that believe in it. Please, I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Please go and get help for your child. That is your job as a parent. Safeguard your child. It's not my job. It's not anyone else's job. That's your job. But there is help there for you. We have tried to give you some help and you keep arguing back. She is possessed. She's been told she's possessed. My mother told me I could be anything that I wanted to be. I didn't want to be a big fat man, but I am.
Amorth said that less than half of 1% of people who contacted him are actually possessed, and he would whittle that number down further. He had a few techniques that allowed him to tell if someone was truly possessed. One of these was to have the possessed person close their eyes. Then he would bring a holy object like a crucifix near them to see if they react. If they did, he knew he was dealing with a true demonic possession.
Was there an effect over her voice then? That was a horrible sound.
Wenn du kannst will not respond to me. No!
That sound was just doubled, right? Yeah, I'm not arguing anymore. I've done what I can do. Thank you for the £5, Andrew Hill. Stigmata was a brilliant movie. The bit where she gets possessed always creeps me out. Love Gabriel, but Gabriel Byrne is such a good actor.
The exorcism ritual typically takes place in a church or other sacred space.
Mags, I'll be
and
on the
only
rum
a few
after
people
this.
Are present. Father Amorth brings a trained assistant who helps with prayer and occasionally helps hold the person down. A couple of the possessed person's family and friends are also present to assist. And in 2016, Father Amorth allowed William Friedkin to film an exorcism on a young woman named Christina. And there's no better choice than Friedkin. He directed The Exorcist.
It's like
It's definitely tampered with, because when he's talking, the sound is cutting. He was talking at the same time she was screaming. There was no sound from him, just her. And then when she stopped screaming, I think that's been tampered with.
The exorcism ritual itself is highly structured and involves a lot of steps that have to be done in a specific order. There's a lot of prayer, the sprinkling of holy water, and the use of a crucifix to draw out the demons. The exorcism ritual can be...
Yeah, the telltale sign was when we could hear the priest, it was cut off. We weren't getting full words from him. It was patched, cut, and overlaid.
Physically and emotionally demanding, both for the person being exorcised and for Father Amorth and his assistant. The person may experience convulsions and screaming as the demons are cast out. Father Amorth would continue the exorcism until he was confident that the demons had been cast out of the person's body. And this could take several hours or even multiple sessions. Once the exorcism was complete, Father Amorth would pray over the person and give them a blessing. And the only
I understand that everyone's saying it's a really easy effect. It absolutely is an easy effect, but to play devil's advocate, could we recreate absolutely anything paranormal? Yes, 100%. Of course we can. I'm not saying that that's what that is. I'm just devil's advocate looking at both sides.
Exorcism Father Amorth allowed to be filmed turned out to be his last. He passed away a few months later at the age of 91. But even worse, that exorcism didn't work. Christina was still possessed, and although William Friedkin tried to contact her, she was never heard from again.
She was never heard from again. Then how do they know she was possessed?
Exorcism is usually connected.
Ferret lives. Normally I would laugh at a comment like that, but after seeing a guy gargle water and spitting on a woman while he's choking her out, and call that an exorcism while he's filming it for YouTube, I can believe it. Hey Peregrine, how you doing? Like the fake faith healers, pee me off like Benny Hinn. Thank you for the £2. Yeah.
To the Catholic Church. But the concept goes back thousands of years to the beginning of civilization. Ancient Babylonians believed that demons or evil spirits were responsible for illness.
Look for the original video. Is the original video going to be there? That's something I reckon Kenny would. Oh no, absolutely. I can do that in about 3 seconds with my editing software.
Illnesses as well as natural disasters. Exorcism rituals were done to drive these entities out and restore balance to the world.
Are we running over here?
The process of exorcism in ancient Babylon was complex and dangerous.
No,
the exorcist would draw a circle around the possessed person, creating a barrier between them and the demon. He would then recite special incantations, and around the circle, sprinkle various substances like salt and herbs. And for especially evil demons, an animal like a goat or a chicken would have to be sacrificed.
Salt and herbs on a dead chicken? That doesn't sound like a ritual. It sounds like a delicious recipe.
You're killing me, pal.
Well, I'm sorry. I skipped lunch and you tell me exorcisms use 11 herbs and spices on chicken. What do you expect?
Over 600 in the chat. It's the highest it's been in a while. When we had Jason Halls on, the chat went up to 900 and something. That's the biggest live we've ever done.
By the way, you and Colonel Sanders make demons sound finger-licking
Old effort, yeah.
That was not my intention.
Now I know why the chicken's so addicting. It's seasoned with evil.
If you just let me get through this, we'll grab lunch.
Chicken bucket from KFC?
Is that even a question at this point? Ancient Egyptians also used exorcism to ward off evil spirits. And one of the most common methods involved the use of a magic spell called a heka, and this was performed by a priest who would recite a series of incantations and make offerings to the gods. The priest would then place his hands on the afflicted person's head and command the evil spirit to leave the body. The person would then be given amulets to wear as protection against future attacks. And in the early days of Christianity, exorcism was an essential part of the faith. The early church believed that demons were the cause of many physical and mental illnesses.
Yeah, around the time they still thought the Earth was flat. If you sail too far, you just drop off the edge. I mean, there's still people that believe that now.
And that the only way to cure these afflictions was through exorcism. During the Middle Ages, exorcism became even more popular. The church saw it as a way to combat heresy and protect the...
Punky Pixie, if I knew how to animate Possum Pete, I would. I have no idea about animation. You fancying a KFC now?
Its followers from the devil's influence. Exorcism reached its peak during the Renaissance when the witch trials were at their height. Many people believed that witches were in league with the devil and that exorcism was the only way to rid them of their evil influence. The practice started to decline.
They ate cannabis. If you've done enough edibles, you'll see a lot of shit that ain't there.
During the Age of Enlightenment, when people started to question the church's authority. Many scientists and philosophers saw exorcism as a superstitious practice with no scientific basis. The church responded by downplaying the importance of exorcism. And
surely you guys are trolling me saying the Earth is flat. Surely. I once got into trouble in a job because somebody told me the Earth was flat, and they absolutely believed it, and I mocked them because I thought they were joking. And then he reported me, and I'm like, what? They're like, oh, you said you're picking on him because he's from Poland. I said, I'm not picking on him because he's from Poland. I'm picking on him because he's a fucking idiot. And I got in more trouble for that.
Focusing on other aspects of the faith. But exorcism did not disappear completely. It continued to be practiced in many parts of the world, especially in areas where traditional beliefs were still strong. Thanks to film and pop culture and the state of the world, there have never been more exorcists or exorcisms in history. And now, in the age of social media, that number is on the rise once again. Exorcism has been practiced in some form throughout all of history. It was probably the
Earth is about as flat as my bald melon head. Got a good round head there, Fahab.
earliest form of psychotherapy. Hippocrates, the father of Western medicine, started out as an exorcist. But is it real? Well, it depends on your beliefs and what we consider real. Do you believe demons are real? If you believe they are, and you believe you're possessed, then exorcism could certainly be a real solution. But if you are cured, were demons really exorcised from your body? Or do you just believe they were because you believe in demons? It's hard to say. Trying to explain possession as non-supernatural has been a struggle for medical professionals for a long time. People claiming to be possessed show symptoms of epilepsy, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder, bipolar disorder, and many other conditions. But the medications and therapy commonly used to treat these illnesses often doesn't work.
Creaky Blinder, yeah, if you want to go and watch some flat earth debunking, Creaky Blinder is the guy. I've got all the time in the world. I watched tons of his stuff. The way he pulls people apart is actually brilliant.
But sometimes exorcisms do. Possession is now recognized in the DSM. Specifically, it's possession trance disorder, or PTD. But it's a pretty new addition. So modern mainstream doctors don't think we're dealing with demons. But they acknowledge there is something happening to some people that they can't quite explain. Often people who claim to be possessed come from very religious and very troubled homes. Many times the possessed are children acting out or trying to please religious parents. For instance, Ronald Hunkler, the boy whose story kicked off the modern exorcism phase, he admitted he was faking. He said he was a bad kid acting out against his mother, who was very religious.
Holy shit, I didn't know that. Peter, you can thank AV Stevie for his 2 years. Hey, AV Stevie, thank you very, very much for the 2 years. I'm very sorry I missed that. The chat is insanely busy tonight. Sorry, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you very, very much. 2 years.
Anneliese Michelle's parents were extremely religious, and they raised their daughter to be as well. If Anneliese were suffering from schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder, this could have manifested as possession, something she was raised to believe was real. And remember, Anneliese was diagnosed with epilepsy. She was also prescribed antipsychotics. When she stopped taking her meds, her episodes got worse. Now, the faithful will say these conditions were caused by the demons possessing her. Skeptics will say she was simply mentally ill, and the possession was just a manifestation of her strongly held religious beliefs. But nobody can say for sure. Latoya Ammons is also very religious and extremely superstitious. Where most people would consult family, friends, or a therapist for advice, she would consult psychics. Her children were raised believing that possession was real, and they may have used it to their advantage. It's well documented that over several years, her children missed a lot of school. The reason they couldn't go to school? They were possessed. Were they faking it to stay out of school? Who can say? Also, at the time the possession started, Latoya Ammons was behind on her rent, and she said she couldn't pay because demons. And if you follow this channel, you know that this isn't the first time someone behind on their rent claimed it was demons or ghosts. The owner of the house said no tenants who lived in the house reported anything strange, both before and after Latoya lived there.
Yeah, but what about Zach the Ghost Bro and the Ghost Hunters?
Yeah, nothing on that show is real, but it's fun to
You tell him.
watch.
But he destroyed the house to close the portal.
Well, maybe. Or he demolished the house to generate some buzz for his documentary about the house.
And to make sure the rights always stayed with him.
And knocking the house down, that created some buzz.
Who's the longest member of this channel? Pretty sure it would be between Mrs. Geek, one Anneliese, Dean was here from day one. There's a lot of people that have been here from day one. But yeah, I think Mrs. Geek, as soon as I got monetized, was like, bang, buying a membership. And I'm like, that's cost us money. And she was like, I don't care, I'm supporting you.
Now, Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
That portal to hell house that we've been telling you about in Gary, Indiana, where so many eerie things are said to have happened, has just been sold. And wait till you see who's moving in.
The new owner is Zach Baggins.
What on earth were you thinking buying this house?
All the
Money. That's what he was thinking. Money.
witnesses in that case, including Police Captain Austin, are...
I don't know who the longest member, but I'm pretty wide. Cujo, we appreciate you. Me. Yeah, I'm the longest member. Clearly. Because I'm tall.
highly superstitious and believe in the paranormal. They were primed to believe the story. They were also interested in money. Captain Austin is on record saying he thought he might get some notoriety out of this, or even a movie deal. And Reverend Maginot did get a movie deal. He signed an agreement with Evergreen Media, the company that produced the Conjuring movies, which is perfect because the Conjuring movies are based on stories told by people seeking fame and fortune. There's no truth behind them. But true or not, those movies earned over $1 billion. Now, I'm not saying all or any of these people are lying. But with stories like this, it's important to see the whole picture, especially when people are profiting. Now, believers will say exorcism is a necessary tool to combat the force of evil that's all around us all the time. And skeptics will say
Yeah, we're not talking about those types of members, Willow Store, Morale Mute. John Boy Patton with 22 months. Been in the community since the time of the I Love You Ouija Brothers episode. I think I was only 1,000 subscribers then.
exorcism is a brutal medieval torture ritual justified by ignorance. And people do die during exorcisms all the time. Now, you're getting the idea that I'm a skeptic, and maybe I am, but only 90%. That 10% of me can't help but think about Father Amorth. I've studied his life, read his articles, a couple of his...
I think he believed it. It doesn't mean it's real, but I think he genuinely believed himself and in his religion. Trevor David, thank you for the 50 Australian dollars. I really appreciate that. Hey Beardo, hey everyone. Thank you very, very much for your kindness. Thank you. Do you think Zach heard the Chase and Dave song, Money, Money, Money in it? Yeah. Or did ABBA do a money song? I think they did.
Books. He says demonic possession is real and that he witnessed countless supernatural events.
Hey Lee, thank you for the 9 months.
But actual
appreciate
demons?
it, thank you.
I look around and I can't find any proof. But evidence of evil, well, proof of that is everywhere. Supernatural or not.
He doesn't understand what a skeptic is. Kenny... a lot of people misunderstand what a skeptic is. A lot of people will say that a skeptic is a flat-out disbeliever. Not at all. Not at all. Amy and Ozzy, thank you for the 23 months. I mean, you get this all the time. I mean, Kenny, would it be correct for me to say you do not consider yourself a debunker? We all call you a debunker. We all call you the best debunker. But you don't call yourself a debunker. You call yourself a paranormal investigator. I believe that's your job description. You're a paranormal investigator. There are claims of the paranormal, and you look for the truth of that matter, whether it's paranormal or natural or hoax or whatever it is. Beto, what's your view on my super chat? I'm sorry I'm missing things. It's so busy in here. Amy and Ozzy, thank you for those 23 months. Say hello to your sister for us. Dean, I'm scrolling up to try and find it. Beto, we're actually living on the back of a giant turtle. I mean, thank you for the £5. Why not? It's more believable than flat earth.
There really is a battle between good and evil taking place in the world right now. And we all have a role to play in this battle. And knowing this, I want you to ask yourself, which side am I on? Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. My name is AJ. You know Heckle.
Guys, it's not pinned at the top anymore. I changed it tonight because of the trigger warnings. I do apologise to anyone that, obviously, the nature of that and some of those horrific photographs. I didn't realise it was going to go that dark. Hey, thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. I'll never understand separating the two. Debunking should always be part of the investigating process. Any paranormal channel or any paranormal investigator that doesn't debunk or doesn't look for logical explanations is not a paranormal investigator. They're just not. We're probably going to get a load of rare noises now for the... Or maybe not. I'm a Catholic, but I do not believe in possession. He's a big softie in real life. I can be. I remember the first time he came to our channel, he scared me. Do you know, I've had a number of channels say they wanted to approach me, but they were scared of me. And I'm like, don't be scared of me. I'm not ever going to get into a fight over this crap. I'll defend myself if somebody starts on me, but I'll let them go for me first. It ain't about that. It's just about the truth. And some people mistake jokes that I make for hostility. And yeah, I make jokes. I take the piss out of people. And I make those jokes because they are absolutely making this field a joke. And there are some people in this field doing damn good work. Centre for Inquiry and Kenny Biddle, top of that list. You know, $500,000, I believe it is, out there. For anyone that can prove their psychic abilities. Nobody's been able to claim it. James Randi did the same thing. As far as I know, James Randi and Kenny Biddle would absolutely adore, love for the paranormal to be real. Absolutely love it. I need to apologise, Beardo. You're a good person. Mrs. Geek is a lucky lady. Can I borrow your aircon? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll be swimming out of here if I turn that off. Gathering information should be the first step. You can't debunk a claim if you don't have all the information or a claim. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, you're a great paranormal investigator because you're a debunker. And it's like, I'm not a great paranormal investigator by any stretch. I am still very early on in my learning of everything. I just won't lie for it. Fantastic, he's a teddy bear. Beardo's not scary. I try not to be. It's just sometimes I get a little bit passionate, you know? Kenny's definitely numero uno for me. I've learned so much about the light-up toys, thanks to... There are not app developers. There are ghost hunting equipment developers out there trying to do things the right way. Appy Droid and the guy that made the Seismo devices and stuff, where he's like, the pair of them, they sell them a quarter of the price of everywhere else, and they don't detect ghosts, it detects motion. It detects static EMF or currents or temperature fluctuations. It's not a ghost, But if you feel like the room is getting cold and that is alarmed, the room has gotten cold. It is then up to you to investigate why. As the veil thins, thank you very, very much for that massive $50. You guys have been very, very kind tonight, and I'm not ignoring you guys that don't have green names, and you guys that just being here, just watching and just chatting, all of it keeps the lights on you. All of it has allowed me to upgrade the studio, to go to these locations, to make the friends that I've made. Without you guys, I'd still be shredding my skin and getting my back fucked up working in a plastics factory. You guys changed my life, every one of you. Some Kobe has their own ghost equipment. They don't know when they will release it because they don't know how it works. It's not ghost equipment. What they've got is flashy devices that they don't understand. Beardo, you missed the 25 months. I'm very, very sorry. Debunking is number one rule to investigating. I believe so. Megan, behind blue eyes, thank you very, very much for 25 months. Over 2 years. I appreciate you. I would have a green name if someone gifted... You have got a green name, Ferret. Kenny Biddle doesn't depend on what afterlife the evidence shows. It could be like the eternal queue at DMV or IRS audit for all we know. Tesla have made some decent stuff. I mean, I've taken a Tesla coil to investigations, plugged it in, throw static into the air, just to see what would happen. And people are like, can't believe you did that. That's stupid. I was like, well, if paranormal activity kicks off, has the static caused it? Or, in the case that I had a 30 East Drive, once I spoke to Kenny Biddle, did that Tesla device throw out a wave of static energy that triggered the devices one by one that convinced us for a time that something had moved past these devices? Well, something had moved past these devices. A static pulse, if you will. Did 10 years in a plastics factory too. 10 years. I actually enjoyed my job in the plastics factory, but my back couldn't take the lifting because I was a plastics fabricator, so I built museum cases and stuff. Yeah, Don't Scare Claire has got a premiere straight after this. Find that Exorcism video and debunk it, please. I won't have time tonight because we'll be ending in the next 10 minutes, but definitely have a look for it. It's very fast chat tonight, just goes to show how much everyone cares. These reaction videos do so much better, and I almost feel like I'm cheating my own channel because, or cheating myself a bit, because it's somebody else's content. I'm doing the shout-outs and stuff. It's what you guys want to see as well. But a part of me does think, if it was just me, would we be getting these? I don't know. I often overthink things that I shouldn't. Beardo, do you still see anyone from work? Yeah, my dad. I worked with my dad for 2 years. It's the best we've ever got along and the worst we've ever got along because we argued like hell. Oh yeah, Watch Weapons. A lot of people are saying to Watch Weapons. It's really good. I'm going to try and watch it soon. 7 and counting at an Amazon building. My body is screaming at me. Hi everybody, Beardo. Where did you get your aircon from, please? Screwfix Direct. Screwfix Direct. They're not cheap. Should definitely do longer ones. They do as well. Your reactions was making it more entertaining. As long as I'm adding to the original content, then I suppose it can be guilt-free. Didn't BuzzFeed Paranormal also tries to solve the Anneliese case? I'm not sure. Possibly. Alright, before I get these channels mixed up. I mixed two channels up. Well, loads of people suggested BuzzFeed to me, and I've watched 3 or 4 of their episodes, and I'm not a fan. I think the smaller guy overacts. I like the taller gentleman, but the recent output, which is the stuff I've watched, no. It's not for me. I'm not telling you guys you can't enjoy it. By all means, it's not the worst out there, but it's not my type of thing. Please do more like this. maybe not that dark. BuzzFeed Supernatural, Shane and Ryan from The Watcher used to do. So I've been mixing these two channels up, but they're the same thing. What a divvy. Hello, Claire from PNC. Peter, this is something we all want to do, but together. Keep it up, please. As long as we're adding... I mean, obviously we're adding to the conversation. Hopefully that lady from earlier has gone to get proper help. And I'm pretty sure if... I wasn't adding anything and just skimming off that channel, then they'd have copyright claimed me. D. Sarah Jones, thank you for the membership. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate it. Beto, are you now doing a 24/7 job instead of full-time? Pretty much, yeah. I work more hours now between streaming, recording, editing, and going out and filming than I ever have. And that's not a complaint, because I love what I do. The difference is creative control. Shane and Ryan didn't have any, but... Ah, right. Maybe Julia from earlier was Ragman Media in disguise. Listen, she got up my nose initially. I don't want to slate her. Because if we just insult her, or if I insult her, then everything I've said about common sense will go straight over her head, and all she will remember is the insult. So I'm not going to insult her or assume that it's Ragman, who I truly believe we've dealt with in this community twice before. I think that person has actually died 3 times and come back from the dead, magically. Can I ask, and tell me sort of order, who goes into a YouTube video named this when the child is about to have an exorcism in 3 weeks' time? It came off as a bit odd. It could have, but from what we've just witnessed, people are willing to go all of the way to the end, the bitter end, sadly in some cases, for their beliefs. I just hope that she takes just something. I've been watching this community, wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, so for that one alone we thank you. I'm only part of the community. I'm only part of it. If it wasn't for Dandalf, Biddle, all the guys before me, the shape, this channel wouldn't exist in the way it does. You thought Ragman was dead? No. There were alarm bells that were rang. I spoke to Crow of Judas about it because we dealt with that before. With somebody sent us photos of their family and all sorts, and then the wife that was being very, very kind to us because we were so kind to her husband. It turned out to actually be the husband, and the photos of the family we were sent were out of catalogues and off the internet, because when the mods reverse Google searched them, the entire life was a lie, and we think Ragman was the same person. Personally love you, Mr. Grey. Yeah, obviously I discovered Kenny after I'd gone down this debunking route, but I've learned so much from Kenny, to the point where he's borderline changed my beliefs, but he's never forced me to. The House in Between is probably the best example of it. The initial watch of The House in Between, I was hook, line and sinker into that thing. I believed it. There was a few bits I was like, And then when Kenny suggested I watch it for a second time, now that I know more, I was like, holy shit. And then when me and Kenny did it together, we ripped that thing apart. Not because I was trying to impress Kenny, not because Kenny needs to impress me, because that's what I saw after learning from all of the other debunkers, all of them, because we all debunk in different ways and we all learn from each other. You're an acquired taste. You're not, Kenny. I don't know why you don't get the views you deserve. But don't you inspire me to become a debunking YouTuber. If you're going to be a debunker on YouTube, or the debunking YouTuber, whichever which way you do it, get a thick skin. Get a thick skin. Because it can get pretty wild. I wouldn't have known about the Y-Files if it wasn't... That's mad that people are finding the Y-Files because of me. And good. We followed the White Files a long time. Asia's first channel as a Patreon of. It's a great channel. Great channel. Love this community. Kelly, this community is epic because he tells the truth. I try. I've never actively lied to anyone. I may have put out information that wasn't quite right in the first place, but that's a mistake, and then I've always rectified those. Sometimes people say that I've, got things wrong, and I don't believe I have. I won't apologise for that. Or a thick jumper. Justin, that jumper is hideous. This is the best community anyone could join. Thanks, Beardo. No, thank you, guys. At the end of the day, you're thanking me for being part of it. There's a lot more to this than just me. Grown up, born again, Christian and Santeria. I don't know what that is, I'm afraid. It's been an internal struggle later with logic, voodoo and Christianity, and debunking with my voodoo and Christianity. I thought that was it. What? Need a thick skin? Yeah, true. I mean, go and look at the true crime comments out of this world. It makes the paranormal look tame. Go and watch people changing tyres and watch the toxicity in the chats. It's just people with nothing better to do. You have to have a thick skin to be a creator. Absolutely. I mean, I've developed more of a thick skin, and I've always been very thick-skinned. Like, a lot of people mistake the way I clap back at people for me being angry. 9 times out of 10, I'm joking. Alright, some of the stuff with Proving Demons, I was genuinely angry and genuinely went at him. There are a few others I've done that with, but that's me and the way I am. I can never change that. And like I've said many times before, I'm exactly the same in real life. I am very polite. I am very approachable. But I can be a right dick when I'm crossed. True crime is brutal. It absolutely is. Beardo, you've changed my opinion on a lot of things. I'm so grateful to found this community. I've definitely softened in my approach to a lot of things. I've hardened my approach in others. For me, it was all about fake ghost hunters. They were the worst of the worst. And then I discovered the fake TV evangelists, the fake exorcists, and the ITC channels. And I go harder at them because I think they're worse. You need a thick skin, some armor plating, and most importantly, you need to learn to let it go sometime. I have let a lot go. I mean, one of the recent arguments I had it spilled over into Instagram, and they were posting everywhere to go at me. And I've got it all. I've got everything recorded. I've got everything screenshot and screen recorded. I've got enough to make an hour-long video, and it is literally just sat on my hard drive. I've got no intention of using it. But it's just there. And I know that that's a 30, 40k viewed video. And it's like, do I really want to stir up drama just to get the last word in? Let them have it. If it wasn't for you, I'd still be watching the Paranormal Files, Twins, and many more, so thank you. You're very welcome, Julie. That shit goes off to the most difficult... Yeah, and the thing is, it's something I struggle with in real life. Really struggle with in real life. What's happened to that? He's back in Europe, stinking the place. I don't know. Somebody sent me a screen record, and they were like, you need to react to this. And he was doing an investigation, but he was so drunk on his investigation that he was slurring, and I just turned it off. And I'm like, I'm just going to get into trouble. I'm just going to stir it up. Nobody is going to believe in what I say about him. Nobody is going to believe him in what he says about me. So what is the point in any of it? I am just arguing for the sake of arguing. It's going to cause further divides. It's not going to divide the community because people have already picked their sides. And I've chosen to just stop responding to him. And in turn, he stopped just randomly being a knob. Now and again, I'll throw a little dig in a video, but, you know, some people deserve it. You got to be the bigger bet person sometimes. Oh, I know. It's just sometimes I'm like a dog with a bone. Kenny sang on American Idol was Let It Go, the phenomenal performance. Vito used to scare me. I'm not scary. After watching all your videos and live chats like tonight, you're a lovely person with a good soul. I tried to be. I'm capable of being a dickhead. Absolutely. But Right, let me grab the link for Don't Scare Claire. I've been rambling. I do apologise. I did see what she was doing tonight, and now I can't see it. Right, the dead are watching you at the Colosseum. Now, if you don't know who Don't Scare Claire is, she does haunted histories and things, but she quite often does fact-finding and debunking at the ends of them, and it's a very good, nice, easy watch. I've met Claire and her husband, both incredibly nice people. Much better than that dickhead Justin that I'm going to be working with this week. Did I post that then? Yeah. So please hit that link pinned to the top of the chat. Go and check out Don't Scare Claire. I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you haven't already. If that's not your thing, go and check out Kenny Biddle. Go and check out Dorset, Paranormal Monkey Podcast, any of the good people that create content in this channel. Go check those guys out. Be well. And if you think that there is a demon, please go and get the right help. Pretty please. Lol. Knob. Yes, I am. Much love to you all. Beardo out.
Can I get a dressed up like a T-Rex with that perfect strut. All the people in the chat's just going nuts. You need a roar. Can I get a roar? If you're not feeling well, it's a nice surprise to get her off a bit. Whenever he's live with those tiny little arms and the flowing tail. If you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself. Can I get a roar? You can get a roar. The object of the data put.
Oi, stop chatting. Don't Scare Claire's actually starting. Right now, you gotta go over there. Who did the ghost invite to his party? Any old friend that he could dig up.